Hello, this is David Richardson. My name's at the bottom. I'm going to introduce you to this America's Best Comprehensive Online Estate Planning. If you don't know what estate planning is, by the time we finish this presentation, you're going to know, and hopefully you're going to want to become a part of setting up your own living revocable trust to avoid probate. Probate court is something that we probably don't think about in our lives time, and until recently I didn't have no idea about it myself. But the probate court is a court that takes money from each one of us, and all of us are going to have to be born. All of us are going to die. Everyone that has been born are going to die, and there are some persons that are going to be born from those who are going to die. It's a process that God has set up himself. And how to avoid the U.S. probate court's wealth theft and over $250,000 yearly salaries paid to persons that are paid to take your estate from you. It is only at the hand of the drafted experts that has prevented this process. Now, this information that we're going to be looking at is over 30 years old. And isn't that amazing? Over 30 years old, and there are persons that are 60 and 70 years old who have never heard about it. The America's Best Comprehensive Estate Planning Software or technology is what we're introducing in this process. Drafted by expert state attorneys. Yes, is that we'll continue to turn the team of technology experts with expert estate planning attorneys to create a new and technology to bring comprehensive expert software plans to everyone. That includes you. Thousands of hours were put into this creation, and those documents and all the software platform to make it just for you as easy as possible. For anyone can do this. Anyone, yes, anyone can do it. And I want you to just relax with me and watch this Wealth Transfer Alliance Advocate dashboard for what I'm presenting to you. And this is to get you started. You're doing it basically something that you need to do. You need to do this because your legacy, and your legacy is everything that you own. Everything that you have is yours. And if you don't preserve it in a process so that it be protected, then the probate court will get it and increase its own income and also wealth for itself. So let's now get dove into this, and that introduction of it is over. Now, here we are in how to avoid the probate court and save time and money for yourself. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this type of data because you can see it for yourself. You can stop this and get an understanding about what we're talking about. And the probate court is what you see. The probate court gets money out of your estate if you transition and die, in other words, and you leave anything behind. If you have not protected it, prevented from going to the court, it's going to go to the probate court, and then the probate court are going to take money from you. Now, let me stop this right now and apologize because I do sometimes get hoarse when I do presentations such as this and have a lot of coughing and things like that. But I hope that doesn't happen too often in this presentation. And if it do, I'll just have to stop. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to apologize to you and not be rude enough to be doing it while I'm doing this presentation. So I have some peppermint candy here. I may put that in my mouth. I also have plenty of water to drink, and my wife makes sure that I have that. And I drink a lot of cinnamon water. And I'm telling you, whosoever you are, you may want to put a couple of cinnamons in your water, and you drink water off a cinnamon stick, and that'll prevent you from having anything with your cholesterol and things like that in your body. So that's just a tidbit I want to pass on as I do this presentation. I'm going to take a sip of water even right now. And I just got started for the work. Okay, now let's go. Here are 4 sources that will help you with this presentation. What I'm talking about is estate planning, and you're setting up an estate plan for yourself, and this is about the wealth transfer, and the wealth is from those persons who are old enough to be considered to be baby boomers, and that's those persons who are in their 60s and 70s, and those persons who are considered to be millennials, and those generational X persons. All this information here is to show you from the Yahoo Finance, the Street, Forbes, New York Times. They're all of them are talking about the same thing, transferring of wealth. 53 trillion up to 84.4 trillion dollars are going to be transferred between 2023 and 2045. 84 trillion, and the millennials and members of the Generation X are those persons who are going to receive it. Okay, it's just that way. Look at this Forbes. Forbes saying the same thing, 84.4 trillion in assets, and look at the word in there. It will be impacted the job market. It will impact the economy. What we're talking about is wealth being transferred to you, and the baby boomers and millennials and persons are going to do that. It's just going to happen. And what this presentation is really all about is for you to get your share. Yep, for you to get your share of the transfer of the $84.4 trillion is going to be transferred to them. That's what the New York Times is talking about. And they put this out May of 23. They're talking about the greatest wealth transfer in the history. The greatest wealth transfer in the history. We're talking about the history of our country, United States of America. $84 trillion will be transferred between 2023 and 2045. We're in 2025 right now, so we got 20 years for you to get your share of that that wealth. Now, we're moving on. This is to show you how to set up your revocable living trust guide. Stop this information and read it. I'm not going to read any of this, just the headlines, to show you that you need to set up a revocable living trust for you and your family. Regardless of who you are, and the younger your family, the better it is for you to set it up now, as opposed to wait until you get in your 50s and 60s and then set it up. Because the wealth that you have now is only going to continue to grow. And what you're doing with this revocable living trust is to putting things into your trust. As you live, you're going to put whatever you acquire into your living trust. And if the younger you are, the better it is, because the older you get, the bigger your trust get. And you are the trust. You become the trust. Okay, I pause just to let you know. This is a trust really the best way to pass on and inherit it to your family? But of course, the trust is the best way. If you don't set the trust up, it's going to go to the probate court, and then of course it's going to pinch off it over the years, and your children may not be able to get it in their lifetime, and then to it can stand there for 50 years, and you have already transitioned and leaving your children with their children and their children's children, and they don't have what you got. What exactly is a living trust, and what are the benefits? Study this information. Between now and the time we finish this, we hope to have that information, okay? And everybody needs an estate plan. Everybody needs an estate plan. Why? Because you want to pass your legacy or your whatever you have acquired to those that you love. That's the reason why you need it. It's drafted by expert planning attorneys, and this is the means of doing. And I'm with Transfer Allowance, as I showed it, and the W.T.A stands for Wealth Transfer Allowance. And if you go to Wealth Transfer Allowance Earn, you're going to get the information. If you go to Wealth Transfer Allowance class, then you'll understand what we're talking about. But now, all of this information is just to show you how you need to have what we're talking about. Just passing on your wealth. And give me your attention is the same information that you see. I want you to give that to a person, and ask the person that you love, whosoever you will want to give it to, ask them to watch it and give you their attention. What they're going to get is the same thing you're getting. If we have your attention right now, then that person that you give it to, you're going to get that person's attention. That's what we're really talking about in this process. Now look, what is an average probate court income by state? We're going to show you that in just a minute. We're going to show you how the probate court, and what we're talking about in all of this is to show you how to avoid the probate court. And you look up at the top, we're talking about $10 trillion. 10 trillion. 211,612,000. That's what we're talking about. This is a probate court. $10 trillion in a probate court. Just imagine that. As this is the summary of the 2025. That's how much money has gone into the probate court. And the probate court is the estates of all the persons who they have gotten to put the $10 trillion into the probate court. It is truly amazing for those who don't understand what we're talking about. And what this presentation is really all about is for you to get an understanding as to why you, at whatever age you are, if you don't already have a broker of a living trust or a living trust, then you want to get yourself a living trust. And this is the most simplest way we know how to do it, which is free. We're going to cover that in just a minute, but that's so you stay tuned with this presentation and watch it so you can get an understanding above what we're talking about. And above all I get and what we want to do, we want to get an understanding. And once you get that, all we're going to do that day from that point on is prosper. Now I'm just going to stop and slow down now because right now I'm introducing you to the technology for you to get the same thing I've got. My name is David Richardson, and at the top it says "Welcome to your Client Center, David." So what you're looking at right now on the left side of the screen is my software or my technology that I have purchased in order to give you an idea as to what you need to do in order to accomplish what I have already accomplished, and that's set up the revocable living trust for my family. And I'm going to show you members of my family just a minute to show you how you can do the same thing I've done. And what I did at the time when I did it, I didn't know what I know now about it. And I'm going to explain that to you as we go. It's only 5 steps. Well, the 5th step is the final step. So there are only 4 steps because the 5th step is where you're going to put whatever you have done in the 4 steps into your vault. So the vault is the 5th step. So there are only 4 things that you need to do. And I said it was 5 because step 4 has 2 steps in it. And we're going to go to the top now and go to step 1 is the interview. Step 2 is the review your trust. Okay. Step 3 is the signing the estate plan. You want to sign everything, notarize everything that you put into your trust. So that's considered to be the review. You review your trust and you make sure that everything that's in the trust has been notarized, signed, and properly presented into your trust so that whenever someone looks at it, like a court, for example, they can see that they can't take anything from it or do anything with it because you will have already put into the information what you want to go in for someone to see it. You see, so when you sign your estate plan, you're saying this is the last step before funding your trust. So now we know the next step will be funded. So step 4 is where you fund your trust and have your funding kit. And your funding kits can be several. We're going to show you all of that in the final one. Is for you to upload the information into your own e-vault, and you have the combinations and how to get into it with your passwords and your codes and etc. That's all we're talking about. Now let's move over to the right side. The right side is the wealth transfer allowance technology, and the technology you see at the top it says welcome. Okay, that's darkened. Okay, well I just click that little tab and up pop the information on the left side, and this first word you see is welcome. Welcome to your client center, David. So this is my technology, and it's welcoming me to my technology to set up all the things that you see on the left side, but it's under the welcome. Now, what you see, what you're going to need to do to prepare your trust, you see your revocable living trust step-by-step technology. You're going to need all the things that we're talking about. And it's not for 5 things. You only have just 5 things to do, and we're going to explain to that now. The name and contact information for your beneficiaries, the name and date of birth of your children, name and contact information for your trustee or agent who you set up over your trust as you go on and live your life and put things into your trust that you only want just your trustee or your agent to know what's in there and that's in your vault. And about an hour and to complete the interview, about an hour for you to do this. Don't take that long, and you may come back in as many times as you like to make changes, to make updates and things like that in your trust. Now I'm going to go to the next level and talk about the tabs that you see on the far right side, because right now the only tab that we see that's highlighted is welcome. So now we're going to go to the other tab to show you how simple this process is. So the second tab, you see that one there, is your information. And it's on the right side, we're putting all the information in about you, personal information. Only you would have this to put this information in so one can see. Now you see my name is out there. So you see what I'm talking about. So all this information that you see in here is to show you what's in my trust. Okay, so we're moving on. That's what's highlighted. And you look on the right side now. Right up under on the left side, it says the trust provision. Well, look to the right. On the right side, that's highlighted, trust provision. So that's the information that's going into my trust. That will be going into your trust because your revocable living trust is soft technology is exactly like this. It's the software that's been developed by the attorneys for over 30 years and being used to set up revocable living trust for persons that understand what we're talking about. And what we're giving you now is the understanding as to how you're going to set up your revocable living trust. So right up under the what you see where it says your income, well, that's on the left, and the next thing you see is your provision, and right up under your trust provision is you see that on the right side. And then when I go to the next page, it's going to go to the next two tabs that you see up under the two tabs right and left right now. The dark side is your information. On the other side says your provision. So in the next tab, when we go forward, you're going to see what's next, and that's this here. You see now your trust provision is above your children. And on the right side, it's got the distribution options. And right up under your children on the left side, it says distribution options. So we're just going right to left, right to left, right to left. And it was showing you now where you put your family, your children. And at the top, you see the picture. The picture's worth 1,000 words. So your children at the top is where it is showing you how to put your children in. So down at the bottom, you see my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. This is all to show you how you're going to put your family into your revocable living trust. And on the right side, it's got the distribution option. The distribution options, you go down, just go down your distribution options so you can see how to put things into your revocable living trust up under the topic of distribution options. So right on the left side again, it has your children. Right up under your children is distribution options. Then you go to the right side and you see what the distribution options look like. So your children and the distribution options are this page here. You see, it's so simple. It is so simple for anyone can see how to set up your own revocable living trust, and it's going to be at your leisure, your time, and like money, little money to set this up. I say no money to set it up. It is true amazing how understanding is when you get understanding. I guess that's why God said, above all, get understanding. Once you get to understanding, there's no reason, no reason at all for you not to have your own revocable living trust, because all you need to have it is the understanding as to how to set it up. And how to set it up is to give you a picture of understanding and the view now as to how you're going to set it up. The ages and everything that's there. Any kind of questions you have is here. All you got to do, you're going to watch the videos, because the question in the video, when you have a question, there's a video that gives you the answer to the question that you need. Look at the top. It says joint trust for children, sub trust. Watch the video. See, that's the video. See, it's a YouTube video showing you exactly how to set up the trust for your children and the distribution options. It is just that simple. Now let's look at here. We're going step by step. This is another step. Now only a few steps now. What we're showing right above the we showed you the distribution options on the right side, right on the past page we just passed. Now with the role. Above the role is distribution option, and on the right side you see the role, and right up under the role you see the add people or organizations. So right to left, we're just going right to left, right to left, right to left, left to right, left to right, to show you what you need to do in order to do what we're talking about. Up under the estate plan role, well, look at your estate plan role. You got the top is the trustee, you got the successful trustee, you got the healthcare agent, you got the financial agent, you got the guardian. That's up under the role. And you're gonna read this down. It's how to get you put in your role. And on the right side, You got to add people to organization, and you add the person's organization to what you're saying to your revocable living trust. That's all we're doing. We're going right, left, left to right, back and forth to show you how simple the process is and give you the understanding that you need. Now we're going now from the adding the persons, because right up under adding a person on the right side has got the beneficiary selection. Right on the left side, you see add the person, which is not highlighted because that's for the role. But on the right side, you see add the people or organization, but right up under this got the beneficiary section. So now when we go to the next page, the first thing you see highlighted is the beneficiary selection. So now you got the beneficiary selection showing you how to set up the beneficiaries for your broker living trust and what those persons are going to receive. Each one of those persons are going to receive. So the list of the beneficiary adding to your estate planning portfolio is what you see in the circle down there. It's just to give you an idea of what's going to go into your estate plan, the guardian, the finances, the laws, and everything that's governing your estate plan. And on the right side, up under the beneficiaries uh, selection, is the disinheritance. On the left side, you see the disinheritance is not highlighted, but the beneficiary selection is. And on the right side, the beneficiary selection is not highlighted, but the disinheritance is. So you see, we're just going left to right to show you how to get to understanding. And all the other things is just to show you what we're talking about is your legacy and your estate planning and how simple it is for you to have it. If you don't have an understanding, then there are ways to get the understanding by asking the question and watching the videos to get the understanding. And then you just go as often as you like into your technology and make whatever updates or changes you want to do as often as you want to do it. And if you got a lifetime to do it, especially if you're a young person, I say in your 20s, and you set up your revocable living trust now, and you're going to live for the next 60 to 70 years, and you're going to update your trust as often as you like. See, still over a period of time, all of the assets that you acquire is going to be into your revocable living trust. And only you will be able to go in and put them in and take them out, put them in, take them out, make changes. That's all you're doing. And then no one will ever be able to take it and put it into a probate and add to that $10 trillion that the probate court has in it for you, or have in it for you to and take advantage of you, as opposed to putting it into your own living trust. Now we're moving on from the beneficiary selection and the disinheritance. So now again, above on the left side, above the below the disinheritance, you see the trustee selection. On the right side, you see the trustee selection. You see the next tab is a financial agent. You see, and the financial agency at the top, the financial parole attorney, the financial power of attorney that you're giving to the financial agent. That's all in a video showing you step by step how to do it. So the video is there. On the left side is showing you the trustee selection, how you select a trustee. All that information is on the left side. Then I click over to the right side, and the right side is showing me my financial agent, and I got a video to watch to get an understanding of that. So any questions I have is in the video if I have questions. But still, the technology is all that you see for your revocable living trust. Moving right on. Now look right here. We all see two videos now. We got the healthcare power of attorney, and the healthcare power of attorney is what's highlighted on the left side. We got the healthcare agent. The healthcare power of attorney is the agent, and they're showing you in a video what you do to set up your power of attorney for your health care, just in case you are incapacitated and you can't do certain things, and now you have a healthcare power of attorney person to show who you want that person to be. Then on the right side, we got the advanced directive. You see, right up under the healthcare agent on the left side, it's got the advanced directive. But on the right side, what's highlighted in dark is the advanced directive to show you that that's there. And if I don't understand it, I got a video explaining it step by step as a process. So it's here is to show you how to get understanding. God said, above all, get understanding. So what we're doing in this process here is to give you the step-by-step understanding for you to have your own revocable living trust at any age, not when you get old. And look, on the right side, you see my name, David Richardson, End of Life Care Directive. Well, see, that's all about me and what I have in my revocable living trust. You're going to have the same thing. Your name will be where my name is, David Richardson. Wherever your name is, it's going to be there. And down in the tab, it's got the advanced directives. And at the top, it's got the living will, advanced directive. Living will and advanced directive. Now, the will, you set up a will, but your will go to court. But when you set up your will, you put your will into your revocable living trust, and then you have it notarized. And then when the probate court looks at it, the probate court has no power to take it out of your trust and do anything with it. So what you've done is bypass the probate court by having your own living will into your own trust. And no one can take your living will out of your trust, because why? You've already designated it and had it certified by a power of attorney person to have it done for you to not have to concern yourself with it. And now your advance directive has already been answered, and at the same time your healthcare agent has also been satisfied. The video is going to explain both the healthcare power of attorney, and the video is also going to explain to you the living will advance directive. So you can't miss out on this if your way you can if you ignore this process and don't take advantage of it, because what we're saying to you, I've already said it. I'm gonna say it again, that it's free for you to do it. Now let's go on to just show you what I'm talking about when I say that. Now let's go to the next step, because the next step has to be the advanced directive, right? And on the right side, it's also got the advanced directive. So I got two advanced directives that I'm getting ready to go into. Right up under the advanced directive is the advanced directive. But on the right side, we got the advanced directive. But the next step is to go to the organ donation. Your organs in your body, how you're going to donate them to anyone. So let's see what happens. Watch this. Up, down to the advanced directives on the left side. And at the top, I have a video talking about the living will advanced directive. And at the end of the life care directive, I got that there. And down under that, you see it's got, if no above, the following questions are required. These are the required questions that has to be answered. Then you continue, hit the save and continue button. That's the advanced directives on the left side. Let's look at the right side. Organ, see, you got the organ donation. So I want to donate the organs in your body, donate them to where you want them to go, if that's your will. But if you don't, then you're going to not have that information completed if you don't want your organs donated. Many of us, and you see up at the top, it says David Richardson, organ donated, a donor. David Richardson is the organ donor. So I would check that and designate what it's going to go to. So your name will be what my name is on the right side. You see my name, David Richardson, all in bold. And then on the bottom, you see organ donation is highlighted. But on the left side, the advanced directive is highlighted, because on the left side, it's the advanced directive that I am doing in my own revocable living trust technology. That's how easy this process is. I haven't done anything that you don't understand. Everything that I've done up from the point A up to now, you understand it. I'm almost sure you do. But now let's go on with the understanding. Okay, look, now here again, we're now at the guardian. You see, we're past the organ on the left side. Organ donation is now already passed. Now we're at the guardian selection. And then on the right side, we got the special bequest. So you see, so we just go right to left. And right up under the guardian selection on the left side, it says a special bequest. But on the right side of the special bequest is what's highlighted. So we're just going left to right to show you how simple it is. And all we're doing is just following the directions of the technology right to left. And we're going to complete the left side, or we could complete the right side and then go back and complete the left side if we don't have all the information on the left side, because it's our technology. We can go into our technology whenever we get ready. Only we have the control to get in and get out. So, well, let's go. Look, we're going past the right side now, because that's the special bequest. And now we're going to the last time. So now we're out of it, because see the special request and the other options. The other options are what you're seeing on the left side. These are the other options. Now, you may not have any other options, but if you do, you see David Richardson. For David Richardson on the left side in bold is for David Richardson. So you can see that this is my technology that we're talking about. And once I complete all these data here, which is done because this is just for your benefit, I click the save and continue button at the bottom. Then on the right side, we got the review. Now I can go in the red. You see the red writing? That's for the review. I'm reviewing everything that's there. See, when we get down, just kept my name there. On the decision, the trustee selection, David Richardson's primary alternative. See, the David Richardson primary alternative. See, David Richardson successful trustee all day. All this is about David Richardson. I am David Richardson. This is my technology that I'm talking about. And then when I go for the next page, I have completed the review. Remember, that was the third step. A second step we looked at up the top. We were going to review what we did. Well, now that's what we're done. We'll continue the review. See, at the top, we got this selection, the trustee selection. We're reviewing information right now. All we see is at the bottom on the left side, see what's highlighted is the review. So on the right, we started the review, but now we continue with the review. We're continuing the review. Now look at the right side right now. What's at the bottom? Well, see, you because it's saying welcome. So right now, you've been welcomed into your plan portfolio for David Richardson. You see, so now we're sizing up. We're getting ready to put the information where into the vault because it's welcoming me. I'm gonna do the interview review. I'm gonna do the revocable trust transaction. I'm gonna take the certificate of trust, the living will uh, testimony. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the financial power of attorney. I'm gonna do the healthcare power of attorney. I'm gonna do the living will advance directive. I'm gonna do the funding kit, and then I'll lock it up. That's what we're talking about. Next step. These are the next step because the steps on the right will complete the review. You see, on the left, the review is completed now. We're at the bottom of that. So the next step we're going to concentrate now is on the right side because the right side is welcoming me to the estate planning portfolio. That's where we're going now. Here, see, that's where we are right now. See, and we went from the welcoming was highlighted a minute ago, but right now the revocable, the interview review. The interview review is what we're talking about right now. So we're going to make sure that all these data on the left side are correct because right now we are interviewing the review. And right up under there, we got the revocable living trust. But to get to the revocable living trust, we go to the right. On the right side, we see revocable living trust. Right up under revocable living trust on the left side, we have the certificate of trust. And then on the right side, we got the certificate of trust. So the next thing we're going to see on our highlighted on the left side is going to be the revocable living trust. We're going to review the revocable living trust. The next step, watch this, what I'm talking about. You see this, see the revocable living trust. And that's in the certificate of the trust. But on the right side, we got the living, we have the last will testimony. And the last will testimony on the left side is not highlighted, but it is on the right side. You see, you're just going left to right, left to right, left to right. That's the whole way doing. And you're completing your revocable living trust. You're setting up yourself as a trust, and your revocable living trust is all about you and no one else. You become the trust. Watch this. We're going to continue on to the next one. You see, this is your financial power of attorney. That's what we just left. And it's going to be signed, notarized by you and whoever you select to be your notary. That person is going to be notarizing all of the information that you have in your financial power of attorney. Well, on the right side, on the left side, right up under the darkened financial power of attorney, you see healthcare power of attorney. Well, let's go to the right side. You see on the right side, you see healthcare power of attorney. You see on the left side, we're now looking at the financial power of attorney. But on the right side, we're looking at the healthcare power of attorney. So we have both the power of attorneys open so you can see them for yourself. That's what we're talking about. You see both the healthcare attorney and you see also the financial power of attorney on the left side, on the right side. Now watch this here. Look, now we just left the healthcare power of attorney. Now we're looking at the last will advance directive. And on the right side, the last will advance directive is not highlighted, but it's because it's on the left side. But right up under the advance will advance directives. On the left side, you see the funding kit. And on the right side, we're into the funding kit. Let me tell you the power of the funding kit. You have done nothing until you fund your revocable living trust. What do you do with the funding? I'm so glad you asked. You're going to take all of your assets and put them into your revocable living trust by deed of your properties, by deed of your boats, and by whatever it is you want to put in, your jewelry, your paintings, your writings, your whatever you want to put into your trust is an asset. No liabilities can go into your trust. You're going to put into your trust your assets. A is equal to L plus P, so you're going to put your assets in, and your assets then becomes you because you're the revocable living trust. And on the right side, we see funding kit. And this is your funding kit. You can update your funding kit as often as you like, as many times as you like, that is, and it's all in your trust. And on the left side, you see the funding kit is not highlighted, nor is it document vault. But look at the right side. The funding kit is not highlighted because right now we're funding our trust. Now watch this. If we're at the conclusion almost, you see now the document. Here's your document vault. There's nothing on the right side right now because we're now at the document vault. We've already taken the funding kit and put everything in the funding kit that we want. We're now funded our trust, and now we're locking it up into the vault. We're putting everything into the vault for our funding kit, and we are the only one that has the opportunity to go into the vault and make changes in the vault, in our vault. Now we're going to upload that information into our vault on the right side. We upload all the files that we have to put into our revocable living trust, and only we can go into and make changes, or you, that is, can go into your trust and make the changes that you want to make. To upload this now into your vault. Now your revocable living trust is set up. Wealth transfer allowance is also the technology that you're using. It's all now being set up for you, and you're putting it into your, see your hand in your hand goes all of the documents. Every document you got, you've already put some in, but now you're concluding it and you now ready to go. You're all set up, ready to go. Now we're gonna go now and show you some things that's related to your trust that you need to know. This is for real, and show you how real it is. If you don't do this, what your losses would be. It would be sad for you to be now, say 20, 30 years old, and got 2 or 3, 4 children, and then you're gonna go now and live your life until you're 80, 90 years old, how long the Lord just live, and you not have a revocable living trust, and all of your everything, your legacy that you've had all these years now go into a probate court, and that $10 trillion grows even bigger. Because every time you transgression, and one of us transgression to the Lord, and we just have a will, and our will go to probate court. It stays in the court until the court surmise all the money out of our will, because every time we put our assets into the court, our assets increase in value, goes up in value. But every time the court have a hearing, the court takes money out of our assets for the hearing. And not just the court, but the attorneys that the court assigned, those attorneys get paid $800-900 per hour. And over a period of, say, a year, that attorney may have 25, 30, or 40, 50 hours at $900 an hour. Where the money comes from? Out of your estate. And the court makes money, the judges make money, and they're paid out of your estate. Look here. This is what your estate is going to look like. We're going to take the money and put it into your estate plan and put it into your vault. Okay? And your vault, the information you put in, can be deducted from your income tax. Now imagine that. Now I got a tax write-off on my trust, and the information in my trust that I put in, all that did this past year, can be deductible if I know what I'm doing when I put it in. And so consulting your CPA or consulting your accountant or your attorney, that's a CPA, they will be able to help you to show you what you go in. And the phone number is here if you have questions for Wealth Transfer Allowance Advocate. You can contact Wealth Transfer Advocate, and that person, this number, will be able to answer questions for you if the technology that you don't understand If you don't understand it, then you call, and this is a nation worldwide Magic Jack phone number. That person was support staff will be able to answer the questions to show you how your revocable living trust information that's in it can be deducted off your income tax. We're going to show you all that when you do the call. How can I put my IRA into my trust? Okay, you got to get an understanding of that as well. All this information, you're going to stop this and study it. I don't have time to go and read it now because it would take too long to do that. So you stop this and you do your own due diligence on anything you see in this technology, anything you see in this video. You do your own due diligence on it, because many of the data that you hear are from other sources other than myself or anyone else who prepared this for your benefit. We're showing you your benefit for you to how to set up your revocable living trust. We've already shown you all of that information, how to set up your own revocable living trust, because when you acquire your estate planning technology from the Wealth Transfer Alliance organization, it's going to give you what within 3 or 4 days, it's going to give you what you just saw me go painstakingly through to let you see what was there. This is just to give you some added information about what you can do should you be able to get the understanding how to do that. Okay, so we're moving on with this to show you step by step of what it takes and what exactly is a living trust. All this is to give you information so you'll be completely relaxed with the understanding that you're going to have by taking advantage of the opportunity that's being presented to you. And I'm going to got to go kind of fast because I don't want to take too much of your valuable time, but I do want you to get an understanding of what we're talking about. Now, look, the basic tax credits. Look how many different tax forms one can have with related to credits and different kinds of credit. Well, some of the trusts that we're talking about are considered to be credits. Expenses, deductions, and credits are the ways that we use in our tax laws in America as to how to reduce our tax liability. But look how many forms there are on the right side and the left side to show you about the business tax credits that we're talking about, how to claim the credits and all these different kind of knowledges. I'm not going to go into many details about it, but here are the instructions, for example, for Form 7206. And notice that at the bottom it says self-employed health insurance deduction. Well, there are many persons that are self-employed who needs to have an estate plan set up. And all of the information regarding the self-employed individual is in this 7206 form. And these are the instructions for that. And there's quite a few pages of the instructions just to show you the 2 pages. Now look, prior year forms and instruction for Schedule K1 and the 1041, the 1065, the 1120 pending self-employed insurance deductions. This is show because there are many people that are self-employed. There's a list of persons. Later on, I can show you many different lists of persons that are self-employed, like doctors and pastors and lawyers and accountants and cosmetologists and barbers, and it just a list goes on and on. A person that are self-employed. Those persons that are self-employed, they can also file in the United States Income Tax Division Schedule K1. Schedule K1, and Schedule K1 is accompanied by different kinds of form. Form 1041, Form 1065, Form 1120. And these forms are associated with the Schedule K1. Put that here for you because you watch the Wealth Transfer Alliance can also issue Schedule K1 for persons that are self-employed. That's what we're talking about in this side of the presentation. And self-employed people, just like the employed people, need to have their own revocable living trust. And now this is just to show you how to do that. The estate and the gift tax questions. You can have videos like that, and at the bottom you see the estate planning technology detailed video. Well, at the top in the white, that's a video. You take that video, put that URL into your URL bar, and you're gonna get a video explaining to you how the estate gift tax work and to answer the questions that you see listed. Okay, so we're gonna move on this to show you because we have spent some time with you. We're gonna not end it up. Now this is a basic step. The estate planning software technology actually costs less than $2,000. You can get it for $19.25, and if you don't have the withall $19.25 in your hand right away, then you can have it at the bottom. So you subscribe and you can get your own financing. Need financing to get it? Well, you can get the financing to do it. But I have also a means to show you how, if you get the financing today, how you're going to take a tax write-off against setting up your own revocable trust. Now, that information, I'm not going to put it out here right now because well, it's detailed information and it's going to take time to do it. But what W.T.A. planning is designed to avoid the probate and court and attorney fees that's associated, that's going to cost you thousands of dollars if you don't set yourself up a revocable living trust. So all this information here is to show you how to set it up, and I've already shown you how to take all of the steps, which is just 3, 4, 5, to put onto your vault all of the information that for your revocable living trust. It's going to be locked up, and the $19.95 is the cost, but it's not a cost. What I'm saying is $19.95 is the initial money out of pocket, but if you treat it the way I know that you can treat it, it'll get you can have it free because it becomes a tax write-off. And as a tax write-off, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0, and $19.95 minus $19.95 is 0. So you see, the opportunity is there. Now, there is an annual subscription of $50 or $19.95 per year for you to maintain the software. That's also a means of write-off for you, just $50, but it's still a write-off for you. Now look here, you may not understand it, but I hope that you do. This is Form 706. This is a United States estate and generational skipping transfer form. This is a tax form that you need to know. Now this form here really does have quite a few pages, I can tell you that. So we get an understanding. I didn't want to put the instructions here. Maybe I did put the instructions here, but this is kind of a long form. But it's for a state. You see at the top what it's for? This is the United States Internal Revenue Service showing you what forms you need in order to take advantage of the opportunity that's being presented to you right now. Here are the instructions for the Schedule K1. I'm not going to go try to read them for you. You can go to irs.gov and get them for yourself, and it won't take that long to get it. Okay, now look, here is the opportunity for those persons that are self-employed that we talked about a few minutes ago, the barbers, the lawyers, the pastors, all those persons, or anyone. I'll take the water because I am getting thirsty. A horse. Self-employed individual benefits. This is how much your business biller. You want to be a business biller, and as a business biller, self-employed individual, you're paid on an agency scale, just like an agency. So your business is an advocate. You become an advocate, and a startup fee for an advocate is about $495 per year. So you're starting up your business for $495, and to maintain that business on a yearly basis is $495, but it's also a startup fee. It's an business expense, and as a business expense, you can write it off on your income tax. But you're now self-employed, and as a self-employed individual business builder with the wealth transfer allowance, we're giving you an illustration of the different kinds of income an individual business builder can earn with the with the W.T.A. as a business builder. So a self-employed person may have two different kinds of income. The self-employed person that you got now could be a pastor, could be a lawyer, could be an accountant, could be a cosmetologist, a barber. I'm just naming some of the self-employed individuals that I have known over the years, and those persons can qualify in this illustration here the same as any other individual could qualify through this individual. This is not any kind of enticement. This is just to show you, if you had, say, there's a same thing that you see here. If it were that way in this illustration here, that would be your monthly income following the instructions and the training that you get from wealth transfer lines. All right, so we're not going to spend too much more time on that. So here is how you become a self-employed individual and what a self-employed individual can gain from wealth transfer lines. The wealth transfer alliance has an opportunity for the self-employed individual to get free health insurance. Well, not free health insurance, but health insurance at a group rate, much cheaper than you can get it anyplace else. So to get that, call the phone number that you see at the bottom, and you can get an explanation. I put my name here and my ID number to show you how you are going to be able to benefit from wealth transfer lines using the self-employed process. All right, so moving on. This is just to show you how people throughout the United States over a period of time have not set up their own revocable living trust, what they should do now, because there's some of this person here has been around in America longer than any other persons, some of the other persons. These persons here that you see were 300, 400, 500 years, but yet don't have the revocable living trust set up for themselves in order to take advantage of the opportunity. That's why they're there. Again, we're showing you this just to show you what you can have as a living revocable trust. Now, here are persons who did not set up their own revocable living trust. And some of the persons you may know, if you're at my age, or then if you're in your 20s and 30s, you may not know these persons, even though you may have heard their name. Look at one person, Monroe left 370,000. Then there was a 1.3 billion left by Daisy Duke. James Brown left 100 million, plus his assets, radio stations, things like that are still producing an income, and he's been dead now for quite a few years, 73 when he died, but he did not have a revocable living trust. And any of these persons here that you see had a revocable living trust when they expired or transitioned. Jimi Hendrix, 80 million. Then there was another lady at the bottom, Hamlin, 5 billion. None of those persons here had revocable living trust, and they were considered, many of them, as self-employed. And then there were one that was employed, Berger, at 1.8 billion. It was a Supreme Court judge. He had an employment, but yet he left his estate to the probate court because he had not set up the revocable living trust. Now, the revocable living trust is you can do it by your phone. You can see a picture says worth 1,000 words. So you actually, through the wealth transfer alliance technology, you can set up your own revocable living trust and avoid the probate court off of your iPhone, off of your Android. All this can be done on the phone. That's just to show you how simple and easy the process is in order for you to have what we're talking about. So wealth transfer allows technology, estate planning, and legacy information for the United States nationwide attorney drafted. Technology is designed just for you. It is. And I've shown you right and left. I was showing you all of these tabs to show you how simple it is for you to set up the software. This is just like a reminder to show you what has happened. Remember, I promised you that I'd show you the information from the probate court. Well, look at what a chief judge earns in 2025 from the probate court. $223,500. That's the chief judge's paid from the probate court. The probate court gets all of its $10 trillion that you saw back earlier. The entire $10 trillion that the probate court has collected over the years is coming from your estate. If you should transition and leave just a will behind, your will go to the probate court, and your will finances what you see. The money comes out of your estate from the will, because if the will is contested or not contested, the court has its time for you to get anything out of your estate or the estate that has been left in the will. And the will go to court. And look at the chief judge in 2025 would earn $223,500 that started in 2012 and moved all the way from 175, 400 up to $223,500. So over that period of time, the court continued to increase in extraction of money out of your state and using that money for their own personal benefit that's coming out of your state that you failed to set up your own revocable living trust. If these persons had a revocable living trust established, then the judges would not be earning the kind of money from their state that they're earning. And that's what I wanted to show you. And this data here is real. This is, you can go to any Google and just Google this information here for yourself. And this is just to show you what the point time started 1984 or 1984 up until now. So in 1984, the chief judge was earning $62,500 in 1984 from the probate court. But look what he earns now, or she earns now, $223,500 over a period of time from 1984 up until now. You see, the court makes money. All right. So this is just an explanation of wealth transfer allowance, how it's required that you have no license. You can become a wealth transfer allowance advocate and earn the kind of money, self-employed or unemployed, employed, through the process of earning this illustration here. I use the same as the illustration showing you what your illustrated salary could be if you take the advantage of the opportunities and the training that's required in order for you to get there. And all you need to do is just enroll, and enroll in the training is free. It doesn't cost you anything to get trained there and do this. It just takes a little time for you to be trained, and the training is every day of the week that you're doing. And nowadays you can do the training through what we call the Zoom process. All right, so we're not going to take too much more of your time. We're going to get out of this now, just showing you now what your self-employed individual can have. And these are the different kinds of jobs a self-employed individual perform. You see all this in the white up with the green background. All these, the different kinds of self-employed positions that people hold. And you may be listed here when you see it, or you may know someone that have this kind of position and may not. But all we're trying to show you is that what we can do for you is to give you different kinds of 8 different kinds of group rate health insurance. And you go to W.T.A benefits.com and you're going to see the same thing. It's going to explain these 8 different health insurance policies that you can have, and you don't have to do anything but just register. Go to W.T.A benefits and register, and we're going to have a form, and you contact you just contact the person who told you about it, or contact the information that you see on the left side, and you can get registered to become and to receive the 8 different kinds of health insurance at a group rate that you would not have it to beat anyplace else. So that's what the process is all about. And at the bottom, you can enroll to become an advocate with W.T.A. You got W.T.A enrollment form, and you become an advocate with W.T.A. All right, so this is just a conclusion now to give you an understanding of the tax credits for the self-employed worker and this W.T.A benefits 100% group rate health insurance, which I just showed you, and how you're going to take advantage of the opportunity of the $22 billion. Look at 2024, the probate court had at that time $22 billion and up to 2024. And that's from I showed you back earlier. We was talking about trillions of dollars at that time. So again, we was concluding this. This is just to show you some of the legacy of persons who failed to set up their own revocable living trust. And at the time here, they may not even have had a revocable living trust for persons that you see here. But make sure you stop this and read this so you can see the persons who failed not to have what we have now, which is a revocable living trust. And this is just to give you information and understanding of the revocable living trust. It's so simple as, and it may be too much for you, but it may not be enough at the same time. But look at these. These are the, you can see it for yourself. This is Black Seminole Indians Scouts in 1885. And these persons in 1885 did not have the revocable living trust. But yet and still their legacy and their lands are still here today. And from 1885 to here, you see, we're in 2025. See how long it's been since these persons here could have had their revocable living trust down through their great, 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 great grandchildren. You see, this important. If you're in your 20s all the way up to your 90s, doesn't really matter. But if you're 20s in your 20s and you got children, you definitely want to set up your free revocable living trust. And then that way, when you transition 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now, you then would have your trust set up and not be like these persons that you see in this picture without a trust. Without a trust, you want to have a trust. Now, this is an SS4. And the SS4 had the instructions here as well to show you how you want to set up when you enroll as an advocate. You want to complete this form here so that you can be right with the government and running your own revocable living trust business. These are instructions for that. All this is in this video. So you make sure you stop it and read it and get an understanding for yourself, and then you'll be understanding, have to understand. Now I'm concluding this. I'm going to show you all of this. I've shown you all of this in the past. I'm just showing it to you again to show you that this is a nationwide, United States of America, nationwide opportunity for you to have your own revocable living trust set up. Call the phone number that you see, and there's always someone in the support staff's office, and that person, if not there, it's a nationwide, worldwide phone number. You can use it, live whatever you, because there are Americans outside of America that are working. I did talk to a gentleman today for one of the persons and one of my clients in Korea, but yet still they are from America, but they work in Korea, and I have to do something for that person in order to satisfy what we were talking about. Now look, this is really a conclusion. This is just an opportunity to show you don't know what county you live in, but this is 2 counties in the state of Maryland, and all these persons here qualify for a revocable living trust. And that's why I'm showing it to you to show you, yes, you qualify for a revocable living trust regardless of where you live in the United States of America. This is have to be the Chesapeake Bay, the water that you see there. This is considered the Chesapeake Bay, which goes out into the Atlantic Ocean on the East Coast in the United States of America. But I'm showing you this to show you that you are in a community where most likely there are very few revocable living trusts. But I would not wait if I were you, since it's not going to cost you anything but time for you to have your own. And I can show you that if you call the phone numbers, will definitely show you how you can have your own revocable living trust. Now, give me your attention. It's going to give you this information again. So you want to, whoever you share this with, you share this information by telling the individual, your relative, your mother, your sister, your brother, don't know who it is in that you know, but that person can have their own revocable living trust. Give me your attention, and that will introduce you to the same thing that you've already seen, but the person that you give it to will not have seen it. So you give it to that person and let that person decide for themselves what you're going to do. Now, in conclusion, my name is David Richardson. Now you see my picture, or pictures. You see 1 + 1 + 1 really does equal 1. And how you get that, and it's asking you to think outside of the box. Live your life to think outside of the box. And you see my picture is in a box. You can see this in a box, open box, but yet it's in a box. But my role is to ask you to think outside of the box and follow the information that you see on the left side of my picture. You see my pictures 3 times. Okay, there's a reason for that. 1 + 1 + 1 really does equal 1. Now let me explain that to you. Me, myself, and I is just one individual, and that's me. I'm bidding you farewell. I thank you for letting me spend an hour and 4 minutes of your valuable time. Goodbye. This is David Richardson, hoping you do yourself a favor and set yourself up your own free revocable living trust. I'll show you how to do it in a simple phone call. Thank you and have a good day.